Hello everyone, my name is Kavin Lienage. Today I will be presenting our paper COVID-19 chest CT scan image classification using LCK3D and frozen sparse coding. This is a project done by myself, my colleague Fereste, and our supervisor Dr. Whitaker at Montana State University. As you all know, COVID-19 pandemic had a huge impact on socio-economic lifestyle of the whole world. One of the major issues we had in the early stages was the lack of rapid diagnosis. Even now, only a limited number of diagnostic tools are approved for COVID-19 testing, like nucleic acid or antigen testing. But due to the high demand and lack of on-site testing, the turnout time for the test result have increased. Therefore, researchers have pointed out the potential of chest CT images to be used as a second-line diagnostic tool when the patient is symptomatic, suspected, or at high risk, especially where the PCR testing is unavailable, delayed, or negative. But the usage is still not authorized due to the issues like lack of specificity, risk of spreading, and resource management. However, developing automated tools for just CT diagnostic is still an interesting subject as it would help the utilization of CT images in future diagnostic work. A lot of automated methods were proposed for just CT diagnostic during the past year, which are almost always based on deep network. Most of them were consist of convolutional neural network (CNN), which are known to produce accurate classifier. However, they require large computational resources for training and testing, and mainly the learned features inside the layers are highly nonlinear. Therefore, it is difficult to draw a direct relationship between the learned features and the input features. There- Therefore, we are proposing a patch-based sparse representation classification framework for the CT scan classification problem. There are two main advantages when utilizing sparse representation. First, the intuition. The learned dictionary features will be in the same space as the original input space. Second, the simplicity. When the data is transformed to a sparse domain, it allows us to use a lower order classifier, which is much simpler. By doing so, we were able to achieve an accuracy of 89%. It should be noted that this method is not clinically verified and should not be used for diagnosing patients. One of the main problems we had was the lack of publicly available dataset. China Consortium of Chest CT Image Investigation Dataset or CCCCII dataset is a large collection of CT images from original sources. The clean dataset is a subset of it with some pre-processing done to standardize the data and segment to isolate the lung area. The data is categorized into three classes: novel coronavirus, common pneumonia, and normal class. Each slice is 512 by 512 pixels with 64 slices per scan. Additionally, there are 750 images which are segmented by expert into the background, lung field, ground glass opacities, and consolidations. When we look at the related work, publishers of the clean dataset has benchmarked the performance of some common networks with their own method. The highest accuracy achieved is 88.7% and the highest F1 score is 87.25. Sparse representation is an emerging tool used in image processing tasks like denoising, restoration, and classification. Basic idea is to represent an input signal as a linear combination of a predefined overcomplete dictionary, while trying to promote sparsity by only using a limited number of dictionary elements. This sparsity allows us to use a lower order classifier. Sparse representation is achieved through iterating between two steps. First, sparse coding, which calculates the sparse coefficient alpha when a dictionary D is given. This is done by orthogonal matching process. The second step, dictionary learning, which is to update the dictionary when the sparse coefficients are fixed. This is done through an efficient algorithm called KSVD. Here we will be utilizing two variants of the KSVD algorithm to learn a more representative dictionary. First, label consistent KSVD, which uses label information to learn more discriminatory dictionary. Second, frozen KSVD, which takes class imbalances into account to learn a hierarchical dictionary. We will be using the label consistent KSVD to learn class specific features and frozen KSVD to learn abnormalities in the images. By augmenting the two, the final dictionary is structured like this, which is roughly separated according to the individual classes and abnormalities. Dictionary size is chosen to be 2000 with a sparsity of 20. The full framework is shown here. The segmented images were divided into small patches and their empty patches were discarded. The patch size is chosen so that the sufficient spatial features are captured. About 20% of the training set will be used for LC-KSVD learning. Meanwhile, for frozen dictionary learning, expertly segmented images will be used. The augmented dictionary will be used for calculating the sparse coefficient by using orthogonal matching procedure. Then the statistic of the dictionary elements will be calculated. The statistic calculated are mean, variance, and the count of dictionary atom utilization. Then a support vector classifier is trained through the remaining training data. Finally, the trained classifier is used on the testing set to get the final predictions. The trained dictionary elements are shown here. We can clearly observe that the dictionary was able to learn distinguishable features for each abnormalities and each class. Since these are in the original feature space, that gives a more intuitive relationship. With two classes, where the common pneumonia and normal are categorized as other, we were able to achieve an accuracy of 89% with an F1 score of 0.859. The previous best accuracy is 87.83% with an F1 score of 0.8604. Our F1 score can be improved slightly by introducing a cost matrix at the classification stage with the expense of accuracy. For the three-class prediction, we achieved an accuracy of 82.6%. Here we can see that, as expected, there is a higher confusion between the novel coronavirus and the common pneumonia, hence the lack of specificity. In conclusion, even though we haven't improved the results significantly, our method provides some additional benefits which are lacking from the deep network. Especially since the dictionary atoms are in the same space as the input features, the model behavior is more intuitive and can be studied to understand the relationship. Further, we achieve similar results while using simpler classifier. For future work, we would like to validate the robustness and applicability of our method by applying this to other datasets. Also, we are planning to develop a 3D model to capture 3D spatial features. A parallel algorithm can improve the test stream time, since we can calculate sparse coefficient parallelly for each image patch. Finally, effects of hyperparameters such as dictionary size and sparsity should be further analyzed. So in summary, our method is more intuitive, simpler, and gives relatively high accuracy. Thank you for attending.